Are the Pittsburgh Steelers in trouble at the safety position? Do they need to add help, even though they have a superstar and Minka Fitzpatrick and a quality guy and DeMonte Casey? Does Kevin Dotson still have a future here in Pittsburgh? We're going to discuss this and a whole lot more here on Mike Drop Sports. In the new pod, all about the game. I thank you guys for stopping through, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So, in terms of the DeMonte Casey, guys, he's like a kind of a clone of Minka Fitzpatrick. So we're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers and what they may need to do at the safety position in order to make that a functionable thing here for 2023. Because right now, I think it's a deficiency. And I know you have the superstar in Minka Fitzpatrick. DeMonte Casey is a quality athlete, a great player, a ball hawk. But you have two guys that are pretty darn similar. So what do the Steelers need to do moving forward? Should they go ahead and try to reach out for a trade? As we'll discuss, you do have some trade bait that you could dangle out there in hopes of some team biting on it. The Pittsburgh Steelers do need to, though, really look at that safety position here at the mandatory mini camps, which I'm sure they've been looking at it for quite some time, and I know that they know that it's a deficiency right now. And the Steelers really need to be looking at that trade market, that live wire for free agents, anybody that gets released. They need a hitter, guys. They need a guy that's going to come down in the box and be able to hit, come down and play the run, and just really be that dirty work type player. And that was what Terrell Edmunds did. And I know a lot of guys a lot of fans do not like Terrell Edmunds. They didn't think that he was very productive. I, however, think differently. I think that he played a big role on this Pittsburgh Steelers defense. He did things in the shadows that really made a difference. And a lot of things that weren't big fanfare favorite type tasks that he had to perform. He was always down there doing the dirty work. And Terrell did that job well, and he understood his role, and he played really, really well with Minka. They had great chemistry together. And I know Terrell had his moments where he looked like a fool out on that field. However, his athleticism and the things that he did do good really shined when you break down the tape. And I think the Steelers need to look for somebody that's going to be that guy, that big athletic guy that's going to come down and crack some skulls, guys. That's what they need. They need a hitter back there, somebody that is really going to go after it and not care that they get 10 plus interceptions or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a shit about the numbers. They care only about coming down and being the hammer and coming down and playing that run support and helping those inside linebackers with the tight ends and all that kind of stuff, man. You need that dirty work guy. And it has to be an athlete. It has to be a guy that has some size. You need to really have that presence in the defensive backfield. You need to have those receivers scared to come across that middle, and because they know they're going to have trouble with that safety, that heavy hitter safety, and they know that they're going to have a problem with it. And that's the kind of guy that the Steelers need to be looking for. And I hope that they can find that guy. I know there's been a couple players tied in rumors, which I'm not going to go over all those because they are vast and they're rumors, guys. And none of us really know what's going on inside that organization. Some people may guess. Some people may tell you they know. But it's really hard. These guys are buttoned up. They're multi-billion-dollar organizations, and they're not just giving out information that isn't needed. The information that you get is information that they want you to have. Believe that. It's not information that somebody's snaking out there from a source, you know. You may get the leaks here and there of like, hey, we're going to sign this player, or hey, we're going to, do some things. But most of the information is buttoned up. You may get a little leak here and there, guys, but please do not bite into all these guys telling you that they know something that is magical and they have some sort of great connection inside the locker room. These guys are getting paid big bucks, and that goes for the front office people too. They're getting paid big bucks, and they're not going to jeopardize their job to be able to give some reporter a little tidbit of information. So just let's clear that up. But that's a position. The safety position is a position that the Steelers gotta address. They gotta figure out what they need to do there And I know they want to play some exotic sets with multiple safeties and things of that nature. And I don't know if they have the personnel just right now to do that. So that's one key point I want you guys to look forward to here in mandatory sessions of the mini camp. Also going forward into Latrobe, and really keep an eye out on that position, because I think that's one that we all need to pay attention to, because it can be detrimental if it's not shored up in this Pittsburgh Steelers defense for 2023. And let's move forward, because now we're talking about that safety position and where the Steelers might need to go, and they might need to go out and grab a piece. They might need to trade somebody. And now I want you all to remember Kevin Dotson is a disgruntled player right now. He was passed over because they've brought so much talent in on that offensive line throughout the offseason in the draft that there isn't really room for Kevin anymore. And he sees that. And he sees that his days are numbered, especially as a starter here in Pittsburgh, because I just don't think he will start. And nobody does, really. But Kevin knows this, and he's disgruntled. And he had an interview with DK Pittsburgh Sports, which is a great channel, guys. Go out and hit the subscribe button to that channel. DK knows what the hell he's talking about, and he's not going to bullshit you. He'll shoot you straight, tell you what he knows, and that's it. He's not going to make up these hot takes for you guys to bite on. He really is to the point, and I would hope that you guys go over and subscribe to his channel and show him some support that he deserves, and could surely need to grow his channel. I want to play a little bit of a clip from DK that he was interviewing Kevin Dotson inside the Pittsburgh Steelers locker room.
Are you mad?
I'm not really mad.
No?
It's just part of the game. There's nothing I can do about it.
Right.
So there's no reason to worry about it. I feel like I can change if I go somewhere else, or if I stay here, I feel like I'll get my opportunity enough to do something.
Did you feel like you grew, though, over the course of the season? I know you did, because we talked about it after every game.
Like the last 9 games of the season,
Yeah.
I felt like I was going in my stride, and I felt like I was getting better. And they was telling me I was better, and and they was talking like a lot of good stuff during the offseason. Like, they'll call me and stuff like that. So, I mean, still I can't blame them, I guess. It's part of the game.
Welcome back. That clip was a great one. And Kevin Dotson is a little bit disgruntled right now, guys. And we see that in his interview, as you can tell there with DK Pittsburgh Sports. Again, Kevin knows that his days are numbered, guys. And he needs to really think about his future. And the Steelers need to think about their future business-wise. In yesterday's episode, we went over the possible acquisition of Chase Young and how Kevin Dotson could fit into that depth player piece to that trade that would need to happen, that they would need to have that depth player, and that, Kevin Dotson would fit into that. And he is about $2.7 million, if I do recall off the books. Yeah, he's about $2.743 million on the cap hit right now for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So if the Pittsburgh Steelers could give him, get rid of him somehow in a trade, let some other teams pick up that money. I think he's like a dead cap of 1.5 or something like that. So I'm not a capologist. I won't get into all that kind of stuff. But if the Steelers could, make some room there by freeing up that 2.743 or 745 million that Kevin Dotson is allocated here in 2023, that could be put into a safety or a player like Chase Young, which we went over that yesterday, the Chase Young trade. I'll let you guys go back. I'll put a link in the comments of that video, so you guys can go back and watch our video about the Chase Young situation and the possible trade to Pittsburgh. However, the Steelers should be dangling Kevin Dotson out there as trade bait. I mean, he could be somebody's serviceable, a serviceable lineman for somebody and get you through the season. Is Kevin horrible? Absolutely not. I think he's a tremendous athlete. I think he really made strides coming down the stretch. He allowed 4 sacks last season. Not horrible, not great, but middle of the road. He was starting to find his legs, and he has said as much in the interview with DK Pittsburgh Sports that he was starting to be appreciated by the Steelers. They were telling him some things, whispering in his ear, and maybe leading him down a little bit of a different path. However, the Steelers chose to move down a different road. And Kevin can still be serviceable somewhere, and he can still end up having a great career. And I hope he does. He seems to be a quality talent. I don't think that he's a shit throwaway player. He's not. And I think any team that does offer for a trade for him, I think 2.7 million is fair for Kevin Dotson. I think that would work. And the Steelers need to really be shopping him, I think, right now. I think that they have that ability right now to get rid of him. They have the depth. They've drafted well. They've signed enough free agents that Kevin Dotson is expendable for the Steelers. And I think that they could really find a trade partner fairly easily to get rid of him. I don't think that you're going to get a truckload for Kevin. I don't. But I think that you could make some things work. He could be a depth piece in a trade package. So Kevin, he just seems like he doesn't want to be in Pittsburgh. And you don't want hostages, as Mike Tomlin would say. You want people that are volunteers. You don't want hostages. So in a locker room that looks to be really gelling, a team that looks to be really coming together, do you want to have that player that's really not happy? And I'm not saying that he would contaminate the locker room. He doesn't seem like that type of guy, but you can sense that he's unhappy. And that comes down and really shows with especially young players. So you don't want that type of energy in that offensive line room, in that locker room. You just want to make both sides happy and do what's fair for both sides. And I think the Steelers are a fair organization in terms of that. They do try. I'm not saying, hey, it's business. I get it. They do things that probably aren't the best for the player, but for the majority of the time, I think they work with these players and really try to pinpoint their value and try to really create a fair playing field for both the player and the organization. But we're talking about Kevin Dotson in that offensive line, but it really started to gel last year, and Kevin was part of that. However, the Steelers only had an average of like 18 points per game. And the Steelers need to get better on offense in order to be able to compete in this high-flying AFC with all these great quarterbacks. Running the football is going to be one of them, and that's why I think that offensive line position was crucial. It has to be, shored up. It had to be shored up, and the Steelers made the proper adjustments to do so. So the Steelers only averaging 18 points a game last year really is just not enough to win in the NFL. You need to be in the mid-20s somewhere. You need to have at least an average point of 24, 25 points a game, I would assume. And the Steelers' red zone offense, you had them at home and they were like 57%. Only 57% conversion rate inside the red zone for the Pittsburgh Steelers last year. That is a staggering number because that's at home, guys. That's no crowd noise. That's like really the momentum should be on your side. You're at home. Your fans are behind you. You're comfortable in that building and you're at home. And you to only have a 57% red zone conversion rate is tragedy, is horrible. You need to be somewhere in the 70s probably to be one of the best teams in the NFL. I think the Dallas Cowboys were number one in red zone conversion last year with a 70-some%. So that has to come up. You can't settle for field goals inside the red zone. It's a killer. You cannot do it. And this Pittsburgh Steelers offense has to be able to score points here in 2023 and not just settle for field goals. You can't do it anymore. And they had an even worse conversion rate on the road. It was like 47%, significantly lower, 10 percentage points at least behind the home conversion rate, which was already horrible. So you're only converting 47% of the time inside the red zone in away team stadiums. That's nasty. That's bad. And Kenny Pickett has to be able to guide this offense a little bit freer this year, if you know what I mean. They have to be able to be more fluid, and they have to be able to adjust down inside that red zone. And Kenny has to be able to use his knowledge of the offense, his vision, and be out there and really looking at the defense, breaking it down, and figuring out what works best. And figuring out, hey, I need to audible out of this. Matt Canada's a damn retard. Like, hey, let's get out of here. I got to audible out of this play, guys. Let's go. And the rest of the offense has to know that playbook and be ready to go. And I know you're saying it's the NFL. Everybody knows the playbook. That's a lie. Everybody don't. There will be made many mistakes. These are complex offenses. Well, should be complex. Matt Canada's may not be that complex. I don't know. I don't study the playbook. However, you got to know the plays, man. You got to know what you're doing. And Kenny needs to take charge and be like Peyton Manning was. You don't know what you're doing. Get the hell out, dude. Give me somebody. Don't come back. I don't care if you're a superstar. Get out. You don't know the playbook. You're no good to us. So Kenny needs to be able to use his legs, use his knowledge of the field, and really be able to make that red zone conversion rate go way higher. It's got to go up, guys. It's got to be better than 60%, on the road. It's got to be 60-some percent maybe on the road, 70-some percent at home. It's got to be there. It's got to be there. And that type of percentage, it has to be, or you're killing yourself, because you can't score field goals all the time and win in the NFL. It's just not possible anymore. The offenses are too potent. And the Pittsburgh Steelers should, keyword should, have a great offense here, or defense, in 2023. But you can't bank on that happening. We don't know. So you need to correct the things that you can correct on offense and fix them. You've got to bring up those percentages. You've got to be able to be more fluid. You've got to have more knowledge of the offensive game plan in the playbook. You just have to do these things, guys. And this is the things that we really need to be looking for here in mandatory sessions and moving forward into the training camp portion and the preseason portion when they go into Raymond James on August 11th. We need to see, does Kenny Pickett have total command of that offense? Does he have the ability to make changes at the line of scrimmage, use his knowledge, use his eyes to be able to get out of certain plays that are going to be just disaster? And you know it as a quarterback. You know, hey, man, this is going to be bad and we got to get out of it. Does Kenny have that ability? That's what we need to see from Kenny Pickett. And we need to see that from the Steelers offense, which is loaded with talent. However, talent doesn't always just win you games automatically. You have to have the fundamentals. And the fundamentals are important at every level. And I know it's the NFL. These guys should be professionals, but you still have to focus on those things. You have to focus on the fundamentals, and these guys got to be ready. They got to know what's going on. They have to have a clue. So, just closing up, guys, these are some of the things that I want you guys to be looking for here at mandatory sessions here for the Pittsburgh Steelers, mandatory mini camps and training camp moving forward. I want you guys to really focus on that safety position. Look at what the Steelers are going to do with Kevin Dotson. See if he's becoming a cancer to that locker room. Those are some things that you could be looking for. Also, does Kenny Pickett have command of this offense? Does the offense seem to know what they're doing? That's going to be a big thing too. So look at that, especially when we get to Latrobe. That's one thing you need to be looking out for. So these are just some of the few things that I would like you guys to check out. Put in the comments. Let me know anything that you would like to ask. We'll answer it here on the channel. Anybody that would like to call in, we're going to be doing the live shows soon. So get that ready. We'll be putting out the number in the community section and also pinning it whenever we go live to the comment section. Also, follow us on Twitter. That's a good place to always know, hey, boom, get an alert. Mike Drop Sports, we're dropping videos. Come on over, check us out. Also, like us and like the videos and subscribe to us, guys. That's helping us grow. We've hit over 300 subscribers today. That was amazing, and I'm so happy about it, and I appreciate it. And it's all because of you guys. We've been gaining big traction every day. We have almost 250,000 views. We have videos that have almost 20,000 views on them. If not, it's already may have hit 20,000 while I've been talking to you. However, just keep sharing and keep watching, and we're going to keep trying to upgrade this content and give you the content you deserve and the content you want to watch. So put your suggestions in the comments. I'm not afraid of harsh criticism. So go ahead and give us some harsh criticism. Let us know things that you would want to see, things that you want to see change. And I appreciate it again, guys. Thank you for stopping by Mike Drop Sports. Subscribe to the channel and keep on watching. And I appreciate it.